everybody, and welcome to Saint-Jean-d'Angely for the YZ125 bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale. It's part of the 17th round of the FIM Motocross World Championship, which is the MXGP of Charente Maritime. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us for our broadcast of the YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup. We had the 65 race yesterday, and today the first two races on our broadcast will be the YZ125 and 85cc races. We'll follow on with the EMX250 race after the morning warm-ups for MX2 and MXGP, and then we head straight into our afternoon show with MX2 and MXGP. But the circuit has been prepped overnight, freshly watered. Probably one or two sore heads over there in the campsite, which is why there are a few sparse people out on the scorched banks here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. The racetrack just over 1,600 meters long, and underneath that freshly ripped and freshly watered dirt is a very hard-packed base. From the finish line, in the center of your screen, dropping down into that turn 6, is where Sector 1 starts. A couple of corners later, coming out of Turn 2, look, it goes from dark grey to lighter grey. That is Sector 2. Sector 3 takes us down the hill. You'll see the Liqui Moly banner. And then Sector 4, just as they come back onto the start straight, then that final sector is the run towards the finish line. A handful of corners or so. But the 125 riders from this YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale have been out on their sighting laps. They haven't been on track since around about 9 o'clock yesterday morning when they had their free and time practice sessions. So there has been a lot of racing on the track since. However, this is the first race of the day, so it's pretty much freshly prepped, freshly groomed. So I would imagine that there would be slightly faster lap times in the 2:02.74 of Nicola Salvini on the JK Racing Yamaha, who will go to the line on pole ahead of Maurizio Scolo, Nikolai Skovberg, Matis Bartes, Adrian Bolvic, Salvador Perez, Carlos Pratt, Sandro Lobo, Giorgio Orlando, Zan Oven, Oliver Martinsen, Emile de Beer of Belgium riding in the red boots today, Ollie Martinsen, Eric van Helvoort, Tim Eriksson, Vincenzo Bove, Elia Alamani, Martin Bredesen, Esko Lettinen, Noah Henzer, Julian Kaiser, and then we have Joran Cardona Marino. We've got 35 riders lining up in total around this racetrack, and they qualified. As we look at the number 79 there of Nicola Salvini, your pole man, and probably one of the riders tipped to win here. Last year's winner, Adrien Petit, finished 9th overall in the EMX125 European Championship this year. Got a 7th in race 1 in Latvia and 9th in race 2 in Lommel. Of course, he was racing the European Championship, which is part of the prize for the 125 guys. You get a ride on a team in the European Championship. Now, the first 3 from today's race will go forward to a masterclass in October with a wild card as well. And of course, Brian Jorgensen, the bLUcRU ambassador, will be there to sort of analyze to see who is probably the best shot at taking that 125 ride next year. There's Nikolai Skovberg. He finished 6th in this event last year in the 125 division. Got a best overall. He was riding some of the rounds of the European Championship, where he got 7th overall at Lommel with a 5th and an 11th place. But from this lineup of riders, 11 from this group here have previous experience, 7 in the 125 class only, but another 4 have 85cc and 125cc experience, and those with the 85 and 125 experience, the 329 of Maurizio Scolo, the 478 of Adrian Bolvic, who finished 3rd in the 85 race in 2019, the 515 of Ole Martinsen of Sweden, who won the 85 category in 2019 as a fly racing board goes up, and the 524 of Emile de Beer, who was 5th in the 85 division last year. The fly racing 15-second board has gone up then, and we are getting ready to go racing. It turns to 5. It's going to be a pretty sticky racetrack for the 125 riders, but the YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale gets underway. There's some bar banging going down the start straight into turn 1. Salvini up the inside, and he emerges with the whole shot. And he manages to make it stick going up into turn 2, so the JK Racing Yamaha supported rider leads the way on this opening lap, and Scolo right there behind him in the red helmet. So the 329 Maurizio Scolo definitely poised. Those two, first and second in time practice, separated by 0.05 of a second. And it's those two who lead the way at the very first time of asking here. So it's going to be a close contest between these two riders. Working their way down to the finish line then for the first time. And it is Salvini from Scala. And then the 300 of Salvador Perez, closely followed by the 128 of Vincenzo Bove as they head uphill. Then we have Alemani, Van Helvoort, Lobo, Adrian Bolviken, he is in 9th place. And then Cardona Marino, in fact, Bolviken already up into 9th now. He's found his way past Cardona, in fact, into 8th now, finds his way by Lobo. Bartes already up as well. Oh, hello, piggyback rides. Oh, that's going to hurt in the morning. Oh, even more. Respect the waved yellows, boys. So Bartes now up into 4th place on the 55. He's found his way past the 128 of Vincenzo Bove. And Bartes, who was 4th in time practice, is in 4th in the race now and going after the 300 of Salvador Perez, and then these two here, the 329 of Maurizio Scolo and Nicolai, and the 79 of Nicola Salvini, dropping downhill, working their way behind the pit lane area. See how sticky it is. Back onto the start straight. This is where the final sector pretty much starts, where those yellow tough blocks are. Sector 4. Back through turn 1, up and around the next few corners before we get an official first lap, then finish line to finish line. But you can single, double your way in across the waves, or you can go double single if you're on the inside. But what a turn of speed Salvini has at the moment on this lap. He's just starting to drop Maurizio Scolo. Good to see the yellow flags are in, and down the inside, 300, Perez and Bartes. So the rider in the yellow helmet, 300. Salvador Perez got his work cut out here, because the 55 of Matis Bartes, who was 11th in this class last year when we were in Mantova at the Motocross of Nations, did the first round of the EMX 125 Championship this year, got a 13th in the first race, didn't score in race 2. Just like Nicola Salvini, your race leader, did the first round at Matterley Basin, the opening round this year, didn't score in race 1, got a 13th in race 2. The only round that he contested this year. A low sunlight as they burst up over the hill. So heading east as they pop up over the Monster Energy jump, top of the hill, turning left. Then dropping down over the Liquid Moly, step down. I tell you what, Bartes, he's got some kahunas on him, hasn't he? Long jump down to the inside, and he pushes Perez wide. Out drags him. These bikes all identical. And Perez bouncing back for more. Look, sneaks up the inside, ruins both their entry and exit speed. But Perez hanging on to that 3rd place. They know that the first 3 riders will go forward to the bLUcRU Masterclass in October. So you can win this event, and it might not necessarily be you that goes through to the ride with an EMX team next year in the 125 European Championship. Might be that you're the fastest rider here, but just don't finish because of a crash or something else. And so obviously that will be down to the discretion of people like Brian Jorgensen and everybody in that bLUcRU corner that determine who that wild card place will be for. But Salvini and Scolo definitely clearing off at the moment, 3-4 seconds clear of these two. And then you've got Perez, Salvador Perez and Matis Bartes. Jostling for that 3rd place. And it's Perez who continues to hold that advantage in that yellow helmet. But Matis Bartes absolutely pushing him all the way at the moment. We've still got 20 minutes to go. By the way, it's a 25-minute plus 2-lap race, the same as the EMX 125 duration of races. So getting them prepped. Bartes just hanging off the back of that machine, the Frenchman. Oh, we've got waved yellows at the bottom of the hill. Oh, and Bartes goes down. So Bartes tips over. Fourth place. Does he keep going? He was, well, I think the 128 of Vincenzo Bove has found his way past, because it looked like as Bartes was getting going there, another rider was coming through. Wasn't sure if it was a back marker that early on, so it could only have been Bove. Yeah, Bolviken has gone through as well. Bartes now in 6th place. Just waiting for our leaders to come through then. Nicola Salvini, the number 79, just dropping onto the start straight now as we spoke there, but here is Perez. So the 300 of Salvador Perez, the Spaniard, with breathing space either side of him. He's about 4.5 seconds behind Maurizio Scolo, the Italian, and Nicola Salvini. But up onto that double step. Back markers coming into play. Salvini just makes sure he gets down the inside there. Nothing in it. 1.6 between him and Maurizio Scolo. And he's closing all the time. .5 minutes plus 2 to go then in this YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale, the 125 category. Nicola Salvini continues to lead just by about 1.5 seconds. Maurizio Scolo there, dropping downhill behind him in that distinctive red helmet on the top there. The 329, it's pretty stocky and sturdy, doesn't he? Definitely knows his way around this 125. So too, though, does Nicola Salvini. These two still separated by less than 2 seconds. Salvador Perez still hanging on in 3rd. The 128 of Vincenzo Bove still 4th of Italy. Adrian Bolviken and Ile Ben Dahan of Israel having issues there. And obviously you can see how claggy the ground is when you're not kind of carrying the speed that these guys are carrying, or if you get into trouble somewhere, get off track, offline. Oh, good speed through there for Maurizio Scolo. Salvini just getting held up behind a back marker here. Clears him right at the best moment, and Scolo is also going to go through because given a wide berth to the leaders as they come through. 6'11" of Oscar Torres, possibly one of those riders that went down on the opening lap with the 737 of Noah Henzer. And maybe even, well, one of those riders, yeah, Ben Dahan, as we just saw there, and the 588 of Julian Kaiser of Germany. But the gap now, at about 6 or 7 tenths as they plunge downhill into turn 9. The tight right-hander at the bottom of the hill. We've lost Bove, so from 11th place, the 128, Vincenzo Bove now has been passed by Adrian Bolviken, who emerges in 4th. Bartes is 5th. Nikolai Skovberg, we haven't seen too much of him at the moment, who was 6th in this event last year. Skovberg actually has found his way past Bartes. So Skovberg now up into 5th. Bartes down to 6th. The 311 of Sandro Lobo of Portugal, who was 12th here last year at Mantova. He is now in 7th. The 351 of Carlos Prat, the Yamaha Alzio rider from Spain. He finds himself in 8th place. Then the number 88 of Eric van Helvoort of the Netherlands is in 9th. And then the 284 of Giorgio Orlando And this was Skovberg on Bartes just a moment ago, and that was for 5th place. The two leaders dropping down onto the start straight. Towards the end of lap 5, a long look at the pit board there from Salvini as he goes past pit lane. But Scala now within touching distance and striking distance as he looks to challenge Salvini for the lead. Remember, this is just a one-race deal for these guys where they need to impress the bosses at Yamaha Europe and the bLUcRU team. They qualified through their national championship, so the best Yamahas get put forward. And Scala around the outside gets squeezed, though. He fancied a run, and Salvini thought he was coming down the outside, but he switched it back. Salvini just hanging on 2/10 as they hit the line a moment ago. They have a massive margin over the 300 of Salvador Perez, though, who is there in 3rd, about 17 seconds further back. Skovberg now up in the 4th. He's found his way past bLUcRU as well. So Nikolai Skovberg is absolutely on a charge now, and he is about 3.5 seconds behind Perez. Here's Skovberg going past Adrian bLUcRU, and he gets better drive, better distance, and then gets through the waves clean. And that was Skovberg going past bLUcRU for 4th place. Oh, and Scala goes down. He tags the back marker. He's got about 17 seconds to pick himself up. Otherwise, Perez will be through. Manages to keep it going. So lap 6 then. What an eventful one. But Adrian bLUcRU, who we just saw getting past there by Nikolai Skovberg, who was 10th in the 125 division in this YZ125 FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale last year in Mantova, who was 3rd in the 85 class. That's when it was Motocross Nations at Assen. Didn't have it in 20 and 20 just because of the pandemic. But Scala, yeah, just takes a long look, and that's the back marker that he ran into, the number 17 of Chris Lampen of the Netherlands. Gold boots to match the gold rims. Anyway, Scala deals with more back markers, who seem to be a bit more aware that Scala is coming through this time. Top of the hill is Salvini. So it'll be interesting to see what this gap is. Well, it was 10 seconds when he re-emerged a moment ago. There's Salvini. Is it going to be less than that when Scala hits the line this time around? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, it's going to still be around about 10 seconds, isn't it? Oh, 8.5 seconds. So Salvini can't afford to switch off here. And with 11.5 minutes, he could find himself getting caught and passed. The 3:11 of Sandro Lobo of Portugal has found his way past the 55 of Matis Bartes. The 64 getting lapped there. That is Sem Hissink of the Netherlands, making his first visit to this bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale in either the 65, 85 or 125 class. Salvini goes through. That was the Bulgarian there, Svetan Buzin. Right, 300 of Salvador, and is that Skovberg all over the back of him? Yes, it is. So we're going to see a change for 3rd place imminently. So the rider in the yellow helmet at the bottom of the Liqui Moly hill. In fact, yeah, there they are, 3rd and 4th position. So Nikolai Skovberg definitely doing his chances a world of good with this charge through the field up to 4th at the moment. They're just ahead of these two here. They're already on the FC Moto jump. The battle for 3rd. Oh yeah, there's the Greek guy, Iakovos Papadopoulos. We've got a great battle going on for 3rd, though, just the other side of this. And Perez is about to get passed by Skovberg as they hit the start straight. There's Adrian bLUcRU. He is in 5th position. But Skovberg has gone past Perez for 3rd. Whilst we were following this action here on track. So Skovberg now up into third place. But a fantastic ride for the Greek rider there in 23rd position, Papadopoulos. As Bolvican goes through, here is your race leader. So Salvini now only 6 seconds clear of Maurizio Scolo. Riders down in this bottom corner or uphill. There you go. 18. Another 3/10. There's Scolo coming up the hill now in red. So this bottom right and the top left, that's the gap between Salvini and Scolo. They're 5.6 seconds apart now. It was 18.09 and 17.73, the splits at Sector 1. Sector 2 is out of this right just as they take off for the liquid molly jump any moment now. So Salvini's Sector 2 time is at 31.02, and Scolo any moment now is going to be a 30.7. So he is gaining ground at 5.3 now, the gap between first and second. Skovberg quicker than both of them though, as he continues to push on in third place. So it's going to be a fantastic performance from Nikolaj Skovberg, the number 2 from Denmark. Here is Maurizio Scolo. Downhill, already a tricky corner anyway. They've just managed to bring some dirt back onto that inside, coming out of that left on what is a very difficult off-camber. If you saw the MXGP qualifying race yesterday, you would have seen Mitch Evans just lose the front, and then the back just came round so quickly on him because of how much rock was showing there and how wet that rock was. 32 there, Ino Piilava of Finland. He raced this event last year. 3.2 the gap between the leaders now. In fact, heading uphill is Salvini, just here with the white helmet. And then the rider now with the red top on the helmet there, that is second position. There's a back marker between them. And Scolo is right back in contention, less than 3 seconds now, around about 2.5 seconds between the 79 of Salvini and the 3:29 of Maurizio Scolo. Skovberg, last time around, 2:07, he was quicker of the top 3, but only a tenth quicker than Scolo, but he's quicker by a considerable margin over Nicola Salvini. Salvini was a 2:10.9, so almost a 2:11. The 3:29 here of Scolo, a 2:7.6, and it was a 2:7.5 exactly for Skovberg, who is 12 seconds behind Scolo in that third place. Perez, 2.5 seconds further back in fourth, and number 300, Salvador Perez, also in the 2:07s. And then we've got Adrian Bolvican in fifth, the 3:11 of Sandro Lobo in sixth. Then Matis Bartes in seventh place, the 3:51 of Carlos Prat, the 2:84 of Giorgio Orlando, and then rounding out the top 10, the number 88 of Erik van Helvoort from the Netherlands. But this is the gap between first and second once again. 6 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Is it going to be Salvini or Scolo that wins this one? In the bLUcRU Cup, in terms of the continuation, being a part of the Yamaha family, Maurizio Scolo, 8th in 2019 in the 85cc YZ125 FIM Europe Cup, and then 5th last year in the 125 class. Right, this was why he lost ground. He got tagged with the back marker there, number 17, Chris Lampen, and that was Maurizio Scolo going down from second position. Fortunately, he didn't lose any positions, and he's just been pushing again, and Salvini looks across to his left, thinks that is the charger that is Scolo, but Scolo going high and wide around the outside again. Number 329, a 2-second gap becomes 0.6, just as it was on the lap that he fell. So the two Italians, Nicola Salvini on the JK Racing backed Yamaha, and the 329 Maurizio Scolo. Nothing in it between these two, and with less than 5 minutes plus 2 to go, think it's about time that Scala just went, okay, and breathe, right back into contention. Think about where the play is going to happen and where the pass can be made. He's cleaner over that jump at the top of the hill there, though. He's obviously carrying some speed somewhere. Lost his front number plate in the collision with the back marker a few laps ago. Almost loses the front end there coming out of that turn. Meanwhile, the 128 of Vincenzo Bove, who was running up inside the top 10 and then fell. He's back up into 12th place, so he's just found his way past the 342 of Jan Boven of Slovenia. Wave Jello's around the corner here. Back marker to the outside. Might have been the 470 there of Emilia Rotsden of Sweden. So one of the girls in the race. Right, Scala. Is he out of tear-offs? Is he rolling roll-offs with these sticky conditions today? Salvini, barely a speck of roost on him. Oh, backhand a little bit loose there from Scala. Crunch time now for these guys in this YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup. Watch Scala here, the second rider in shot as he comes in to land over this double. Now, backhand just lights up on the landing. That gives you an indication as to how slick the track is. Yeah, he's got goggle issues. So he does run out of tear-offs with his charge. Back to the 79 of Salvini. He's been roosted by back markers. He spent a lot of time behind Salvini. Number 17 up on the right-hand side again. Then look, the boots matching the wheels. And this is going to be crucial for Salvini and for Scala because Salvini has goggles. Scala doesn't. We're in amongst traffic. The dirt heavy and claggy. You've got to ride with the sort of head forward and the helmet, the visor, just deflecting any of that roost. Otherwise, if you continue to look straight up, you're getting all that rock and roost in your eyes. Nothing that riders aren't used to doing when you have conditions like this, whether it's in mud or sand. It's all part of the course occasionally. But Salvini has done well to weather the storm from Maurizio Scala. The gap between those two now has gone from 0.6 to 2 seconds. There was a heavy landing for him there in the background just a moment ago on the FC Moto jump. The outside line is working a treat for Salvini though. Bove is back down from 12th to 16th, so more problems for the 128 of Vincenzo Bove. But it's still Salvini there, number 79, with the white helmet, who continues to lead from fellow Italian, Maurizio Scala, who's just losing the momentum now, 3.8 seconds with no goggles and getting caught behind back markers. Nikolai Skovberg, 16 seconds further back, so his drive has come to an end. He's now 3 seconds a lap slower than Scala and Salvini. Can there be one last push, though, from Scala here, the 329? The 300 of Salvador Perez. Hanging on to that fourth place is about 12 seconds clear of Adrian Bolvican. Then we've got the 311 of Sandro Lobo. He's about 5 behind Bolvican. And then Bartes, who was up front with these guys, Mathis Bartes of France. Then he's obviously had his issues and falls and things like that, but he's in 7th. Then we've got the 351. 351 being Carlos Pratt on the Yamaha Auzio machine, but all of a sudden, look, nothing in it again between the two leaders. Here is Scala, the rider directly ahead of him is Salvini. They were 2.3 seconds apart when they hit the line a moment ago. And Scala has done well just to readjust his lack of visibility, staying on different lines now, look, staying out of the roost, doing all he can to have one last charge. The 2-lap board will go out, which means the 25 minutes are up. He gets held up, though, going up the hill. Just a heavy line for him, just lost vital drive. And then doesn't get clean through the first couple of waves, and that gap is going to go back out again between these two. the story of Skolo's race so far. Gets close, falls back, gets close, falls back. But so far, you have to say, Nicola Salvini has ridden the absolute perfect race. Got up front, got the whole shot, did the pole man. And he's just managed to control it. Everybody else around him has made their little mistakes here and there. And another one there from Skolo, as he just loses his left footing there. Hanging on to those goggles, they're not going anywhere. Full-on privateer status right there, but he's right back onto the rear wheel of Nicola Salvini. Two back markers in his line of sight, though. Two-lap board goes out. The gap between first and second, 2.5 seconds. Can he find one last push? Maurizio Skolo. He's definitely got the corner speed. He's got the straight line speed. That is Salvini at the top of the hill again. Gap was 2.5. As they hit the intermediate sector now, it's 2.1. So another 4/10 pulled back there by the 3:29 of Skolo. The second rider in shot, second in the race. The leader coming back towards us now in the white helmet of Nicola Salvini. The next intermediate sector will be out of this right-hander, right on the takeoff point of the Liqui Moly downhill. 2.1, the gap it was. It's now 1.5, so there is another late surge from Maurizio Skolo. He needs to be over to the left now, more middle, so he doesn't get bogged down like he did a lap ago. That's exactly what he's done. Hopefully then he gets the, yes he does, he gets better drive through those waves. He is closer than he was a lap ago. Everything he's thrown at Salvini. The number 79 has just batted away. Down past pit lane for the penultimate time then. The two Italians, Nicola Salvini, Maurizio Skolo, separated by 1.5 seconds. It's going to be a big final lap for both of these two. Can Salvini hang on for the lead? He has led the last 12 laps. We are on lap 13. Will it be he that takes the checkered flag and the victory, though, in just over 2 minutes' time? Skolo to the inside. Salvini with traffic ahead of him. Back marker stays tight to the left, or does he? Not quite. Skolo's been using that line, though. The gap as they hit the line as they enter the final lap is down to 0.3 of a second. And more traffic on the horizon for the race leader, Salvini. Salvini goes wide and then cuts back. Skolo just takes his time, doesn't rush in. I can imagine the heart being right in the top of his chest at the moment. The number 79 just nervously looking over his shoulder. The heart must be absolutely pounding because he is the one under pressure. He's the one that attacks the back markers first, but he's clean out of that corner. Roost all over the place for Maurizio Skolo. Wave blue flags as they plunge downhill for the final time here. And offline and into the fence. Well, you can't knock his effort, Maurizio Skolo. Just trying to get himself out of there. He had about 25 seconds, so he should maintain that second position. But we are denied a grandstand finale. Salvini looks over his shoulder. No longer sees Skolo there, and he will be home and dry. Nicola Salvini then down past the pit lane area for the final time. He will stand on the top step of this bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale in this 125 division. And Maurizio Skolo, wow, he threw absolutely every end. Salvini looking over saying, really, is he not there? I have that much of a lead? It's about 20 seconds, Nick. the gap between you and Scala. Over the double for the final time, still looking around. But Nicola Salvini, the JK Racing Yamaha rider, rounds out the final turn. He will hit the Monster Energy finish line jump. And Salvini wins the 125 YZ125 FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale here. Watch Scala here. That was the one when he was in second position when he tagged the back marker. Then he'd done all the hard work again, just came in too hot here, just got cross-rutted now, turned right instead of left, buried himself in the fence. But he emerges over the line in second, 17.5 seconds behind the winner, Salvini. Skovberg another 8 seconds further back, but what a performance from both those two riders. And you can see the smile on the face of Nicola Salvini as he makes his way down towards the winner's enclosure, and he's absolutely pumped with that. Pumped to you and I, but obviously can't believe it, look. "14 laps, that 25-minute plus 2 lap race. Salvini, your winner from Maurizio Scolo, Nikolai Skovberg, the 300 of Salvador Perez, Adrian Bolviken fifth, the 311 of Sandro Lobo was next in sixth place. Then Matis Bartes, the 351 of Carlos Prat, the 284 of Giorgio Orlando, and then into 10th place on the final lap, the number 88 of Erik van Helvoy. He found his way past the 191 of Oliver Martinsen of Norway. Such a pace that these guys put in at the sharp end of the field. We're still waiting for riders to make their way over the line. But that is the track from above. Anyway, let's go down to Lisa. She's with our winner, Nicola Salvini.
Nicola Salvini, you're the Yamaha 125 Cup winner. Great race for you.
Yeah, I had a good start, and I'm happy with my ride, and so I win, and so I'm very happy, and thanks to all my team and my sponsor. No, stop.
Thank you.
When you win the YZ125 FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale in the 125 division, you, along with the first three, Scolo and Skovberg, go to the masterclass, where it will be determined whether you have qualified for a ride on an EMX 125 team. Well, Salvini put himself in the driver's seat there with that win here in this YZ125 race. Official confirmation as we have it then. Salvini wins it from Maurizio Scolo, Nikolai Skovberg, the 300 of Salvador Perez, and then Adrian Bolviken, Sandro Lobo, Matis Bartes, and the 351 of Carlos Prat, rounding out your top 8. 9th place for Giorgio Orlando, and then the 88 of Erik van Helvoy, taking that 10th place on the final lap from Martinsen. And we had Oven, Jean Oven, Martinsen, Cardona Marino, Bove, Eriksson, Bredesen, Alemani, the Belgian of the 524, Emile de Beer, who was here in the, well, he's ridden the 85 and the 125 division. And then Lettinen, number 10, Esko Lettinen from Finland. What a race we had there to kick things off here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. And you know the good news? At 9:45 local time, it's 9:25 here now, we will have the 85 race coming up, so that will be just as epic, I'm sure. But there you can see the classification there, look, on the left-hand side. The fans gradually filtering in. It was not quite a packed house yesterday, Saturday, but I'm sure it'll be absolutely filled to the rafters today, because later on in MX2 and MXGP we do have riders in both categories that can win. We had riders in both categories winning qualifying races, as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a very loud and raucous Saint-Jean d'Angely a little later on today for the MXGP of Charente Maritime. But the 125 class here for the YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup, the super finale at Saint-Jean d'Angely. What a performance, what a race we had. Third overall, Nikolai Skovberg, well, he had to come through the field, the number 2, one of the favourites on paper with his 125 European Championship racing experience throughout the year. But Maurizio Scolo, how hard did he ride? How fast was he as well, this Italian? What, half a dozen times he found his way into contention for the lead, but it was Nicola Salvini, the JK Racing Yamaha rider. So 2 Italians and a Dane on the steps of the podium here at Saint-Jean d'Angely. Amélie Moller-Gertsen will get the Young Girls Rider Award, and then the youngest rider in the class award will go to Emile Debert. So picking up 19th place, Emile Debert, the 5'24", who finished 5th in the 85 class last year. So obviously making his way forward. Hirokoshi-san, Yamaha Motorsports Division Manager, fresh in off the plane just a couple of days ago to be here for this event that is gaining in momentum year on year. Thierry Pommier, the FFM Vice President, of course, FFM, the French Federation. Second place trophy to Maurizio Scolo. Nicola Salvini will take his number 1 plaque from Paolo Pavesio, Yamaha Motor Europe Marketing and Motorsport Director. One of the players behind this series and the involvement in it. And then for the girls, the young girl, of course, Amélie Moller-Gertsen. She also rode the 125 division last year, picked up 26th place. But Gauthier Paulin, obviously a former Grand Prix racer, he's got medals, he's got Motocross of Nations medals and all sorts. As a Motocross of Nations winner, handing the young trophy to Emile Debert of Belgium, the youngest rider in the class. But they are your top 3. Nicola Salvini, Maurizio Scolo and Nikolai Skovberg. And then, of course, Amélie Moller-Gertsen and Emile Debert, but the national anthem of Italy for Salvini. Your top 3 here on the podium then in the YZ125 bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup Super Finale here at Saint-Jean d'Angely. Nicola Salvini, your winner, Maurizio Scolo and Nikolai Skovberg rounding out the podium on what was a fantastic race. Certainly the top 2 putting on a show for the fans first thing this morning. They'll step down from the podium now because they will also get a bronze, silver and gold medal. The bronze medal will go to Nikolai Skovberg, who finished this. It's actually a European Championship round with that kind of merit as well. So 3rd overall then for Nikolai Skovberg. Andrea Barbieri will hand out the medals. Bronze to Nikolai Skovberg of Denmark. Silver for Maurizio Scolo of Italy. Give you a slap in the face, son. Congratulations, that's all that is. From one Italian to another. And Nicola Salvini takes the gold medal for his efforts today. He made the perfect start, stayed out of trouble, put the pressure on everybody else around him. There are your top three. And Andrea Barbieri joined by Daniele Rizzi from In Front Motor Racing. But there are your top three. We'll have a winner's photo as well any moment now, just with Salvini. And the two gentlemen either side of him. So that's how it finished here, with Nicola Salvini winning this YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale. Check out the highlights and we'll talk to the top three in a moment. It was fantastic. YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale we had here in Saint-Jean-d'Angely. A bit of bar banging going into the first turn, but it was your pole man, Salvini, who grabbed the early advantage as he led up the hill into turn 2. Maurizio Scala was right there behind him in red. The 300 in the yellow helmet of Salvador Perez was next. Then we had a little bit of carnage going on the first uphill double. Riders going down there and over the bars as they jostled for position. But Salvador in the yellow helmet, he was under attack from Bartes first of all. Then Matis Bartes fell from 4th place. He re-emerged in 6th position. But further down the field, we had all kinds of things going on. That was Skovberg making his way through. But then in 2nd position, Maurizio Scala found himself onto the rear end of a back marker as he was challenging Salvini for the lead. He picked himself up, lost about 10 seconds, got himself right back into contention. But on the final lap, he fell again at the bottom of the hill. He still managed to salvage that 2nd position. He crossed the line 17.5 seconds behind your eventual winner, Nicola Salvini. It was the Italian Salvini on the JK Racing Yamaha who crossed the line victorious. Maurizio Scala was 2nd. Nikolai Skovberg was 3rd from Perez and bLUcRU. And here's how it finished. Nicola Salvini, Maurizio Scala, Nikolai Skovberg, the 300 of Salvador Perez, and then Adrian bLUcRU rounding out the top 5. Gold, silver, and bronze medals to our top 3, Salvini, Scala, and Skovberg. And they will go forward to the YZ bLUcRU FIM Europe Cup Masterclass in October. Right, that was the 125 race taken care of. We will be back at 9:45, so just over 10 minutes from now, for the bLUcRU 85cc race. We will see you then. Bye for now.